G'day folks, here's my July collection update. G'day folks, Jeff here, welcome back to the channel. We've got another collection update going on for this one. This is everything that arrived in July. So, plenty of good stuff here. I've continued my quest for early English Grindcore albums. There's one of those in here. As usual, plenty of Swedish stuff. There's a couple more reissues of, like old demos and other odds and sods, a classic or two that I missed in the past. But we'll get started with some Aussie stuff, I think. So let's get into it. All right, first up are a couple I got from my good local shop in Canberra, Landspeed Records, who, congratulations lads, just got some award for, best music shop in Australia or something. So very well deserved. First up, I got this. This is Buffalo. This is a very old 70s sort of hard rock proto-metal sort of band from Australia. This is their second album, Volcanic Rock. I believe they were previously a band called Head. Like, it was the same members pretty much, but yeah, I don't know anything about them. And I don't have their first album. Well, I haven't even heard it, Dead Forever. And I think they did a couple of slightly more commercial ones towards the end. But I think the prime ones are this one and what's the other one? Only Want You For Your Body, which I've had a burn of for years, but I'm keen to get the original of that, or at least a reissue. And that's all this is. I mean, came out in 1973, so didn't come out on CD back then, that's for sure. This is a 2005 reissue on Aztec Music, but the original one actually came out on Elektra, pretty classic. You'll recognize the disc. Classic label, that had Black Sabbath on it, as well as a ton of other bands. And there is actually another Black Sabbath link. These guys supported Sabbath when they toured Australia in January 1973, before I was even conceived. So, damn, that would have been a nice gig. So I think these guys played a couple of shows with them. And it does actually comes with this quite handy little booklet that's got really quite a nice little write-up, flyers, all sorts of stuff. So it's a really interesting story. So, yeah, these guys, as I said, proto-metal sort of stuff, it's pretty freaking heavy for 1973. Singer Dave has a really sort of great kind of husky voice. Actually reminds me of like John Fogerty from Creedence Clearwater Revival for some reason. Not all the time, but occasionally. And yeah, this band also had Pete Wells, legend from Rose Tattoo, on bass in this band. So yeah, some damn fine pedigree. So yeah, there's 6 songs of the normal album, and then you get comes with a couple of bonus tracks, a single version of one of them and a live version of another. But the two sort of main kind of hit songs, you could say, on this Sunrise, Come My Way, as well as Shylock, the last song on here. And yeah, both of them rule pretty damn hard. I can see why they were sort of hits for them. Sunrise, Come My Way is a nice sort of slightly more upbeat kind of one, a bit faster, super catchy chorus. Then they got like Freedom, which is 9 minutes and possibly slightly too long. It's like a, slow cruising kind of song. To My Death is bloody ripper. The Prophet's pretty bloody nice as well. Kind of reminds me of Caius, or more to the point, Caius reminds me of them. But yeah, the Shylock's probably one of the highlight tracks on here. It's got an intro, Pound of Flesh, which is like 4.5 minutes long. That's a long intro. The actual song only goes for just under 6. So, but yeah, it's pretty pounding, heavy sort of riff. What's his name? John Baxter. He's a bloody good guitarist. He knew what he was doing, that's for sure. So, as I said, I really need Only Want You For Your Body. First song on that's a ripper. The artwork on this is a bit interesting for 1973. Hopefully that comes through all right. But yeah, it's like a buttocks there, rather phallic looking, then a naked guy on the top, and I'm not sure if he's holding a dick there, or maybe it's a rock, I suppose. It looks a bit suspect shape, that's for sure. So yeah, but yeah, as I said, damn good booklet, and I don't know, I'm kind of keen to track down a bit more of this sort of very early stuff. I think I just discovered Black Feather, which was another band around then who doesn't seem quite as heavy as these guys, but yeah. So if you like old Black Sabbath-y sort of stuff, these guys rule. It was bloody awesome. Also from Landspeed, I couldn't resist this one. I've had it on CD since it came out, but why not? The VBs with Crack Us Another. This is a awesome Canberra slash Wollongong slash Sydney slash Queanbeyan band. Legendary sort of, I don't know, pub rock almost. Enjoy the full gatefold effect. Yeah, I know these guys are very nice chaps, but they're a bit raucous as well. So yeah, this is just drongo rock, really. It's probably the best way to put it. 9 songs. Look at that, dogs rooting on the back, classy. So yeah, this is their second album, I think. I don't know. I'm not sure if they're albums or EPs, those early ones, but this is the first one with Davo and Noro on it. And yeah, it's got masterpiece songs. Drive Through Bottle-O's the legendary one. It's partly legendary because there's a film clip which includes me. Yeah, I'm famous. That was an awesome day. It's a film clip filmed in mate's backyard where we just fart-assing around playing like footy and filming us in the back of a ute and drinking beers and having snags, and then, yeah, it's a legendary film clip. I'll put a link to it below because, yeah, very worthwhile seeing. I mean, I'm not really much, but but it's a killer song as well. About going through the drive-through bottle, so the bottle store of, you know, I don't know, I guess other countries have drive-through bottle-os, but Australia definitely does. Other highlights on this for me are Bashing the Bishop is one of the best. And this thankfully comes with lyrics, not that you particularly need them. This is no death metal sort of stuff. But Bashing the Bishop's all just, you know, colloquialisms of masturbation. So beating the meat, pulling the pud, feeding the chooks, I'm jerking the gherkin. My favourite one, and it goes on and on. My favourite one is like, I'm stabbing the cat. I hadn't actually heard that before this. But yeah, doing the knuckle shuffle with Mrs. Palmer and her 5 daughters. Yeah, anyway, you get the picture. Got a thrash collage of super blown out. And for some reason it comes on like white vinyl. So, but yeah, legendary bloody album. Other highlights are, No IQ is pretty good. Stay Ugly is, where's the classy lyrics to that? Stay ugly, just like me. You can't polish a turd. Bashed with the ugly stick. As ugly as a hat full of chewed arseholes. Poets, these guys. Yeah. So, yeah, legendary Aussie pub rock, you know, Cosmic Psychos kind of meets Motorheady kind of stuff. I love these guys. If you ever get the chance to see them live, yeah, definitely do it. It's so worth it. I've rambled about these guys in plenty of things before, including, I think that, that's right, in that memorable gigs one, their barbecue on stage at the Summer Nats was pretty legendary, but yeah, and it was sort of this era, so yeah, awesome album. All right, next up is one that I've waited quite a while for. I got this one from Brilliant Emperor, the record label that put it out. I think they had some pressing issues with this. So, yeah, new Plow Share, or newish Plow Share. This is their second Wound album. This came out, was officially released, I think, like July or August last year. Maybe a bit later, but yeah, this was on my top 20 Aussie releases last year, with good reason, because it friggin' rules. But yeah, finally, I finally have the record in my greasy hands. So yeah, this is kind of avant-garde black metal, pretty out there sort of stuff. I really enjoy it. These guys are from Canberra, so seen them a batch. I think, although I think half of them live elsewhere now, but they were formed in Canberra. I believe Voidhanger did the CD of this, but yeah, this is on Brilliant Emperor. Yeah, this is, I don't know, kind of hard to describe. These guys do a lot. Kind of dreamy black metal almost. I don't want to undersell that, but it has a lot of craziness going on. The last song like just devolves into noise at the end. There's like wandering around noodly sort of bass, and like that's quite a clean sort of sound on this, and kind of jangly guitars, but it's just twisting, turning, all sorts of strangeness going on. Kind of reminds me a bit of, I don't know, Vedburn's End or Thantafaxis or Dot Imsgard. Yeah, odd black metal, and you can definitely tell they got like a heap of non-metal influences on this. Like it's clear as day sort of thing. This is not sort of, you know, pure Holocaust or anything, blast your head off, but blast your head off in a kind of different way, you could say. I think it's Mockery of the Demons is just like crazy descent into hell with churning riffs and just weird leads and absolutely crazed vocals. It's bloody awesome. And what is it? The thorns pressed into his head's another ripper as well. So yeah, very happy to finally get this one. Comes on fancy, all right, aqua or something or other, coloured vinyl. Does come with one of my pet peeves of an Obi strip, but I'll cope. And what do you get? Like exciting lyrics and blurry photos. So yeah, these guys haven't been playing live as much of late, which is a shame because they friggin' rule. I did see them with the Potbelly. What gig was that? I don't know. A while back. They were bloody excellent. So yeah, this is just weird black metal with a ton of other influences as well. I don't want to sell it short by any means. So I'm glad to finally have this. This will get plenty more listens, believe me. And of course, repping the shirt today. Why not? Because it's not the most readable logo. So that says Plow Share. But yeah, killer bloody band. Hope they continue for many years. All right, next up are a decent amount of records I got from Bad Habit Records in Queensland. They had I don't know, it was like 20% off sale or something, and yeah, I kind of went to town. So one of the things that I got was this Aussie band Aglo and their latest, this is actually 2 EPs slapped together. So it's Fixate and Disgrace and also Control and Torture. So this is kind of a chunky death doom with like pretty damn deep vocals, or as it says on the thingy, brutal down-tuned track death. So this is like Star Trek themed death doom, which is fine by me. Definitely appeals. I mean, I've read the lyrics multiple times. I can't quite pick what episodes they're referring to, because yeah, the previous lyrics were pretty obviously Voyager-ish. I think, but at any rate, so yeah, this has got Aaron from I Exist and Burn the Hostages and Reign of Terror and Mental Cavity on. I think he does everything on this, except with the exception, I think on the previous ones he did everything. On this, they've got he's got Braden from Cull and Reekmind and Ghost Smoker on drums. Blake gets around, and also it was Alan from Gutless does like a guest solo or two. So it's got some talented lineup behind it. I do believe they play live now occasionally, so that'd be fun to see. And I'm also very happy to see I Exist back together as well, so I'll be keen to check them out, see how many different guitarists I can jam on stage. So, but yeah, this came out on, I think, Oblivious Maximus. Don't know that label particularly, so maybe it's Aaron's label possibly, I don't know. But so yeah, it's sort of death doom. Still got that sort of southern US sludge kind of swagger to it as well, which is pretty much what I Exist sort of sounds like. So they even cover I Exist with the Temptress, which yeah, they've slowed down quite markedly, but you can still recognise it as an I Exist sort of song. So yeah, I really quite enjoy this. So comes with picture and lyrics and the like, and I have a feeling this is on fancy coloured vinyl as well. Got to get it out of that shitty paper sleeve. Oh, look at that, very pretty. So yeah, it's not super long, but certainly does the trick. It is a 45, so yeah, it's probably like 25 minutes long or something. But yeah, I really enjoy this sort of stuff. I've got his previous ones. I think it was like a demo, and then a proper album as well. So yeah, keep up the good work, Aaron. This friggin' rules. You know, another one I grabbed from Bad Habits sale, just because I could have sworn I owned this, but I guess I only had it on CDR or something, is Exhumed Slaughter Cult, their second album, I think. It's from 2000, so this is pretty much peak era Exhumed for me. Slightly less sort of rusty production than gore metal. Bit more melody maybe, or maybe you can actually just hear it for once. So yeah, I mean, highlight song on this is definitely Decrepit Crescendo, the first song, and then Forged in Fire, Formed in Flames is another friggin' ripper as well. But that sort of riff blast section on Decrepit Crescendo, yeah, doesn't really explain it well, but if you listen to it, you'll know what I mean. Just untouchable, so killer. Interestingly, this album doesn't have Ross Sewage on bass and vocals on it, so I'm assuming, I don't know if it's Mike Beams doing the guitarist doing the lows. Maybe it's Matt himself, I don't know. He usually does the high sort of ones, though. They do have a ton of guests vocalists listed here. Who have they got? It's got Hank from Dawn and Retaliation, Jason from Dead Bodies Everywhere, Sean from Impaled, Leon from Impaled, and Juan from Vile. So, yeah. I don't know if they're doing all the lows or if they're just doing occasional backup-y sort of bits. Who knows? So, but yeah, it's friggin' rules. Interestingly, I never realised this is produced by Miziko, whatever his name is, from Nazem. So, yeah. I don't know, somehow I just missed that little tidbit of information. So yeah, you get full lyrics of charmingness, no doubt. Pictures of the band, and this comes on stupid colour vinyl. I had no choice about this. I just realised, shit, I don't have that. I might as well buy it. So yeah, sorry, Rogger. Yeah, that's an interesting colour one. That one. Anyway. Sounds good though, so that's all that really matters. I think Vacant Grave's another classy one. It says the closer song, but overall, it's friggin' rules. It's not quite as good as Gore Metal, I don't think, but still friggin' bloody excellent stuff. So happy to have this. The only thing I'll whinge about is cover art's kind of boring. It's like blurry. I don't know if they expected that to be better. Maybe that's what they wanted, but, and the logo kind of bleeds into the picture. It's, I don't know, lacking definition. Well, it's obviously staged photos. I mean, the band photos of the back are friggin' awesome. Why isn't the cover as good? I don't know. I'm whinging. Anyway, Exhumed friggin' rules. Next up is a classic that I never owned. I'd never even had this on tape, so, I mean, I've had it in the last 10, 20 years or whatever, but... back in the day, I did not have this at all. This is, good old Infernal Majesty with None Shall Defy, with that awesome cover art. So yeah, this is Canadian thrash metal band. This is from 1987. This is just a bodgy reissue on High Roller, but I think with this, I'd always laugh too hard at the cover and those band photos, which they seem to put more band photos on the back than I think the original ones only have a couple, but... Dude with the hair. Like, what's going on, mate? What's going on there? It's just huge. But anyway. But yeah, I've always sort of laughed at that. And I mean, that cover is, yeah, it's very metal. I'll give them that, but it's not one of my favorites. But yeah, this is friggin' heavy as hell. This is really good. Nice sort of really riffy thrash. It's kind of, I don't know, it's not quite borderline death thrash, but it's got a bit of that sort of Demolition Hammer kind of feel to it as well. Actually reminds me of Possessed quite a bit. And a few, sort of sounds like Slayer in parts, but not the usual way bands sound like Slayer. I don't know how to explain that, but there's just bits that I'm like, oh yeah, that's a different way of doing that. And really good sort of gruff vocals. They're not high-pitched. Which guy is the vocalist? Oh, the one with the tall hair. Or one of the ones with tall hair, sorry. Yeah, he does a damn good job. But yeah, on this, Overlord's, the first song is probably my favourite, as well as the title track. That's friggin' ripper. They're both sort of just thrashy bangers. Bloody awesome. They do get a bit epic on, I think it's Night of the Living Dead. Plenty going on that. SOS has some real speedy sort of riffing. I really like it. Occasionally they remind me of like Candlemass of all bands. When they slow down, it doesn't sound like Candlemass, but it just has something similar to it. But yeah, there's a lot going on. There's a classy bloody album. There's heaps going on. These guys knew what they were doing musically, but strangely, like, I don't know why it took them so long to do a second album. It's like 1998, so it's 11 years. Maybe I don't think they had that many lineup issues or anything. Although, honestly, I know nothing about this band, really. This came on black vinyl. You get, like, lyric sheet, photos. So I don't think I've ever read an interview with them or anything. And if you really want, you can put the poster of that special cover up. I think my walls are a bit full, unfortunately. So, yeah. Awesome bloody album. Don't let the cover fool you, or get it for the cover if anything. Don't let the weird looking band photos. I don't know, is it just me? Does that guy look like the keyboardist from, or one of the members of Nocturnus looks like that guy? Maybe it's just a tall with sort of sunnies on, or I don't know. It reminds me of them for some reason. So yeah, Awesome bloody album. I should have had this many, many years ago, but glad I got it now. Alright, also from Bad Habit, I couldn't resist this one. This is, furthering my collection of early grindcore. This is Electro Hippies with their The Only Good Punk Is a Dead One album, which looks to be a first press. This is like Vile #2, so the second release of Peaceville, or second full proper release. Pay no more than £4 for it. So, this is a band from England somewhere. I never really had much of these guys. I always wanted them because I used to read 2000 AD comics, which is, Judge Dredd and Rogue Troop and all sorts in there. And this guy, I can't remember his bloody name to save me. I'll put it up on the screen. He did a few comics, but he did ones called Bradley, which was this snotty little punk kid that, just got into trouble and did stupid shit. And I remember there's one picture which is the artist was obviously a fan of like early grind sort of stuff. There's like one picture of Bradley on a sled. I'll see if I can put it up on the screen because I should be able to find it. I'm not delving through my 2000 ADs out in the shed, but I'm sure I can find it online. And on his sled he had I think it had Napalm Death or Carcass, and it had Electro Hippies on there as well. So I was always like, ooh, yeah. Those guys are in with other good bands. They must be good. So I'm glad I finally eventually picked them up. This is pretty damn grindcore, but pretty damn punk as well. Like it's not quite. It does have some similarities to Scum. It's not quite as fast and intense all the way through it, but actually has the first song, Faith, almost sounds like multinational corporations, just thankfully a little shorter. And the fourth song is called Scum, much like the fourth song on the album Scum. Oh, well. I don't know if it's a tribute to them or a reference, or who knows. Maybe I should read the lyrics. I doubt they're going to be calling out Napalm Death somehow, but going on about McDonald's, obviously. So, honestly, I'm not super sold on the kind of snotty, punky vocals on this at times. I don't know if they've got multiple singers, but occasionally he sounds bloody raucous as hell. Really good aggro on some songs, and the grind bits work really well, but they're not. And it's actually probably good that they're not all the time because they're really explosive when they happen. It's just like cruising along and it's like, wow. I think it's where is it? The Gas Joe Pierce. I don't know who Joe Pierce was. Someone they didn't like, obviously. So that's one of the highlight songs on here. Actually, the fast bits remind me a lot of Lawnmower Death, of all bands. Keep expecting after a few bits him to say egg sandwich or various stupid lines from Lawnmower Death. I looked them up on the map. They're not too far away from each other. I guess England's not that big a place compared to Australia. So I'd say Lawnmower Death are quite familiar with these chaps, that's for sure. So it's pretty funny as well. It's pretty friggin' sloppy as well in parts. It's I think it's Lies maybe. It's just blatant stuff ups in it, but I do like that they've got. I don't think that's a band. It's just a crowd. We'll just put. There's no band photos on here at all, so it's obviously just on black vinyl. This does come with this poster and lyric sheet and the likes. Very happy to have this one. It sounds pretty cool. I mean, it's no Napalm Death. Occasionally they sound a bit like Amoebics. I think it's on Terrorize. It's reasonably varied for grind, which it's pretty bloody good. I might track down a few more things of these chaps. I think there's a live album that I probably should have bought at the same time, but I'm enjoying this one. And lastly, from Bad Habit, I couldn't resist picking this one up. This is Skitsystem with their first album, Gravald Svartatanka, from 1999. This is Swedish, crusty, D-beat punk sort of stuff, much like Martyrdod and Wolf Brigade and any band that begins with Dis. So I've had this on CD for bloody years, but I thought, what the hell? It was on sale, why not? Back then they had Tompa from At the Gates on vocals, as well as the main guy, Frederick, singing. So their combo is really good. It's a good, angry, back and forth sort of style. Adds a heap of energy to it. I actually think this is, I think Tompa actually sounds better in this than at the Gates, honestly. This is much better sort of use of his style, I think. But yeah, this is killer stuff, but I don't know, I'm pretty bad because I listen to a lot of grind. I kind of feel like these guys could have been faster. The actual song, I think it's Gravald, or Gravarg, Vold, I don't know, whatever it is. That's friggin' fast. I like that one. There should be kind of more songs like those, and I'm always, whenever I listen to this, I'm like, oh, you could chuck a blast in or two, fellas. Why not? What the hell? But no, obviously not. And I think it's, what is it? No Hope, No Future, No Second Chance is another speedy sort of highlight with like a solo in it as well. But honestly, I think that the second album, yeah, you get lyrics and picture of the band. I think the second album, whatever that says, that's probably my preferred one of theirs. I don't think I actually own, is it Stigmata, the third album? I don't own a proper copy of that. So, but yeah, I'm still very happy to have this one. It wasn't particularly expensive, and yeah, it's still pretty raging, nasty D-beat punk, so you can't go wrong. All right, sticking with Sweden, this is one I just got off Discogs. Been meaning to get this for a while. This is Sayadina with Fear Gave Wings. This is their Swedish grind band's their first album from 2004. So this is like members of Victims, Retaliation, General Surgery, Nasum, and you can immediately recognise Addy from Birdflesh, the drummer of them. Just, I don't know, there's something about it. It's not that often I can recognise a drummer from their style, but there's just something about his blast beats. It's just a heap of energy to it. I don't know, he's a great drummer. So yeah, this is pretty punky sort of grind, snarled kind of vocals, just fast to the point sort of songs, a bit of the melodic sort of style that Nasum used later on. So yeah, I can't even remember which songs are good. They're all good, really. So this is just on black vinyl, and yeah, as you can tell, I don't know if you can see the corners a little dinged up there. The the side of the inner sleeve's a little battered. I mean, this is like 20-something years old, so it's seen better days, but you get ridiculous level collage action there and lyrics and the like. So yeah, this is I did get lucky over the years and see a ton of old Swedish grind bands like Retaliation and what are they? Exhale, I think they were called, and well, I saw the post-tsunami version of Nazen, which was still pretty cool, but I never did see these guys. I mean, I saw General Surgery and Regurgitate, etc., but I never did see these guys, which is a shame. So I reckon this live would have been, yeah, kick your head clean off, that sort of stuff. So, yeah, I'm happy to have this because, what else have I got? I think I've got there's still a compilation of stuff that I've got to get of theirs, so I've got the album after this, and maybe there's a third one as well. I can't remember. Anyway, Sayadina, bloody awesome stuff. Very, very worth checking out if you like your Swedish grind. Yeah. Next up are 4 CDs I got from Discogs from China, I think. It's one of those things where there was one CD I wanted, and then I was like, oh, let's see what it costs to add another CD. Oh, yeah, not much more. Well, let's keep going. So, yeah, I got 4 in the end for really not that much, so I'm happy with that. But yeah, this first one is Rarities, the Hungarian band that I'm loving their new album so bloody much. So I thought, yeah, let's track down their other stuff. And there wasn't really much. There was one album from like 4 years ago that I already owned. And this is I think this is just a demo. It's like 2 songs, but long songs. They're like both about 8 minutes each. Yeah, this is a reissue on like Pulverized Records. I think it originally came out on tape on MSUO. So yeah, 2 long songs. First one starts with I don't know, it sounds a bit My Dying Bride-y sort of sounding guitars, kicks in powerfully, and yeah, even though it's a demo, like thick, heavy sound, deep sort of hoarse vocals. I love it. The second song's probably the highlight, and yeah, they're all in Hungarian. I'm not going to pretend I can read them. It's got like the evil, Finnish lead sort of sound on it, and just a steamroller groove that, with their tough sound on this, just sounds friggin' heavy. I love it. So, yeah, I'm loving these guys. Maybe I need to track myself a Rotharas t-shirt down at some stage, but yeah, killer band. Another CD that I grabbed was Druid Lord with their Grotesque Offerings. This came out on Hell's Headbangers. This is their second album from 2018. This is a Florida kind of death doom sort of band. I discovered these guys ages ago. Like, I used to buy most things that Dementia Records put out. There was a Czechia label that did some damn good work. So, yeah, I just grabbed these ones based on the description, like a 7-inch of theirs, and was like, oh yeah, I like these guys. So I'm still yet to track down the first album. His name I can't remember, but anyway, I've got this and the newer one, and yeah, freaking rules. Like, it's a bit of an autopsy touch straight away. So yeah, I was sold the second I started playing this. It's just the type of death doom that I really enjoy. It's not. They actually mix it up a bit. There's some fast, maybe not faster, but not as slow and trudgy sort of bits. I don't know, some bands just like smash along at a snail pace and really don't vary it much, but these guys do. It keeps it interesting. Kind of think Hooded Menace for a pretty reasonable comparison to these guys. And yeah, they have some nice sort of hammer horror samples on it, which, yeah, really adds to the atmosphere. There's a couple of nice sort of somber, mellow kind of interludes on it. There we go. There's a picture of the bands. And yeah, I think it's Evil That Haunts the Ground has a nice sort of cello sort of bit to it. The vocals on this are deep, but really kind of clear. You can actually make out most of what he's saying. So the lyrics are a bit sort of, I don't know, King Diamondish. They do not sound like King Diamond, but and yeah, he uses some effective sort of screams on what is it, Creature Feature, I think. It sounds pretty bloody cool. So yeah, I really enjoy these guys. Yeah, they should get more love, I think. So Druid Lord, and yeah, as with always, I've got links to all these below. So I highly encourage you to check them out. All right, also from the same Discogs seller, I thought, why not? I'll chuck this one in. This is Rotravor with Hung by the Eye Sockets. This is like a little EP that came out on Extreme Music. So yeah, this is Pennsylvania, very heavy death metal. This is another band I discovered from this always awesome Pantaglia compilation that I bought in my youth and was completely blown away by a number of friggin' killer bands, and Rotravor was one of them. Yeah, they're around varying times. I think the initial run only lasted till 1995, and they got back together for a bit and then broke up. And I think they did this in one of those. Got back together and then broke up, but they are back together now. I think they just played Dead by Dog a couple of months ago. So yeah, similar murky sound to the original album. They only did one album when they were, in their early heyday sort of thing. So yeah, similar murky sound, deep as hell vocals. I don't know, when I first listened to this, the songwriting seemed just a bit awkward or clunky or something, but I don't know, second listen in, I was like, I didn't even notice. So, yeah, I don't know, just didn't gel the first time. I think the album itself, Iniquitous, is a bit smoother. I don't know, it's one of those things where, they were demo tracks that they'd played heaps. So, but yeah, this is still pretty nifty. So yeah, 3 songs. I think Blindsided Attack, the second song, is my favourite. Just this killer tough riff running throughout. It's so bloody good. One thing I like about these guys is you can obviously tell that the early Melbourne death metal bands, like, your Acheron, Disembowelment and Necrotomy sort of bands, obviously we're fans of these guys. You can hear a bit of it going on. So yeah, honestly, I'd suggest you get Iniquitous, the full album from the early 90s. It's, still quite a bit better. Nothing's heavier than the song Disembodied, but it's still pretty good little taster. I have this feeling they have another recent release as well, but anyway, this still worthwhile. And lastly, from the Chinese Discog seller was this Graveyard album, For Thine Is the Darkness. So this is not the Swedish Graveyard, but the Spanish Graveyard that sounds Swedish. So this is their third album from 2016. It's just, quality sweet death, sort of D-beat kind of stuff with deep vocals, plenty of leads. Actually reminds me of Afflicted quite a bit, of all the different Swedish bands. Plus, I think it's with Fear and Thirst. It actually reminds me of like sort of Tales of the Thousand Lakes era Amorphous. I don't know, probably the keyboardy sort of little bit. They have a heap of interludes in between all these songs, so there's like 17 songs, but half of them are 30 seconds long sort of ones. It's not quite as raging as I remember their early stuff. I've got like one like mini album or something or other on record that I've had for donkey's years that I think it was a bit more intense than this, but yeah, I'm still liking this. It might not be as raging, but it's a bit more interesting musically. So they have the Jade vocalist on this. Well, he's on like one song, I think. He is their live vocalist, I believe, but he's on The Womb of the Desert. But I'm fairly certain I can hear his sort of clean vocals in the background on The Mighty Columns of Irem, which is like a kind of slower Therian kind of sounding song, like, you know, like second, third album sort of era Therian. So, yeah, not too bad. I got to say, I wasn't quite blown away by this. I was hoping it'd be a bit more just standard Swede death sort of style, but yeah, they're doing their own thing, which is probably a good thing. So, yeah, maybe I'll get some more. Why not? What the hell? All right, up next is a brand spanking 7-inch that just came out of Pulmonary Fibrosis and Repulsive Feast. This came out on like a million different record labels. I got this from Grindhead, Aussie legends. So it also came out on Gurgling Gore, Grindfather, Lycanthropic Chance, and some other one that appears to be the Plague Doctor. I don't know if that's a label or what, or they just chucked a Plague Doctor picture on there, but at any rate. So yeah, this is a split, two sort of, I don't know, grindy kind of bands, like Pulmonary Fibrosis, the first band. They're one of my favourite current gore grind bands. Freaking rule. Each band's got 2 songs on here, and apparently it's themed around serial killer Adolfo Constanzo, which I know nothing about, so I got some reading to do. But the Pulmonary songs are, the first one's Human Slaughterhouse, has actually got David from Undergang on vocals, which sounds kind of odd. Like, you know, they're a pitch shifter band normally. Maybe they've got some non-pitch shifted screams or something, but most of the deep stuff is all gurgle, gurgle, gurgle. So it sounds kind of odd not to be pitch shifted, but he's got such a filthy, horrible voice that, yeah, it still works very well. And the second song's straight normal shifter. I think it's actually dedicated to Fred from Neurovisceral Exhumation, who they were supposed to do a split with, so it's a bit sad. I didn't actually know Repulsive Feast at all. They're a German death grindy kind of band. Kind of sounds like Hemorrhage meets General Surgery, so sounds like Carcass. And they further enhance the carcassness by some, you know, Bill Steer symphonies, squealy sort of bits that, yeah, whenever I hear it, it's like, symphonies. But yeah, I love the D-beat action on the second song, Narco Satanists, or Narco Satanists, sorry. Yeah, pretty friggin' killer, I gotta say. Yeah, as I said, I love Pulmonary Fibrosis. Their songs friggin' rule always. This is the one that, whatever colour that is. And good old Bubsy, as per usual, threw in a Grindhead sticker and a Grindhead fridge magnet and a Slaughter Cold fridge magnet. So, yeah, I've already got a lot of things on that fridge, so maybe one of our other... We've got another fridge, so I'll bung it on that. So, yeah, excellent little release. All right, up next are a couple I got from the Searchers Records in Melbourne. Excellent bloody shop. This one, I've been kind of wanting it for ages. I didn't even realise it was on vinyl, actually. I've been after the CD for yonks. I've had a copy of it bloody ever, but I really enjoy it. This is Insult with The Mosh Pit Is Our Sabbath. Pretty killer cover. I don't think the CD has that cover. It's a bit more boring, I think, but this one I couldn't resist. So this is a Dutch grindcore band. I think they haven't been around for yonks, but I think it's some blokes from Bile and Inhume. So yeah, heavy as hell in parts, but also kind of punky, fast-scorey, just grindy sort of stuff in others. The main song that I love so much of these guys is the song Yellow. It's just got the toughest breakdown bit where he just goes, "Marsh it up." I reckon live it must have just destroyed the crowd, I reckon. I really do like the vocals on this. They add a lot to it. They just sort of kind of screamed and growled at the same time. I don't know if it's multiple singers or what, but I think it's phone rock as well. Just kind of reminds me of Bolt Thrower briefly on the slower, chunky sort of riff. So yeah, everything's rules on this. It's not exactly long. It's like 15 minutes if you're lucky. I really should have bought their what is it, Emo Bashing Fastcore Pimps compilation, because it's got everything on it, and including this. So, oh, what the hell? Comes with nice insert and lyrics and the like. So, yeah, this is heavy but super catchy grind. Just killer bloody stuff. I love it. And the main reason I did a searcher's order was to grab this. This is Filth with their Time to Rot album. You might recognise this from my best records of the year so far, because this one features pretty highly on that. So this is latest album of only album so far of this Swedish band. Came out on Masako. I know her. Swedish death metal. They're newish sort of band for the last 3 years or so from Gothenburg. I won't go into bore you with the same details over and over, but yeah, it's nice to have this. It's just heavy, chunky, slowish death metal. Lots of atmosphere to it, and look at that cool cover as well. It's very nice to have this on something other than just looking at it on a screen, because it's bloody nice. Just black vinyl, nothing super exciting. The boys standing around looking tough in a, I don't know, toilet maybe. It looks like a toilet. Lyrics and the like. So, yeah, highly recommended this one. As I said, links are below to these guys and all these bands. But yeah, this is still on my top 20 albums of the year without a doubt. So yeah, just killer Swedish death metal. All right, up next are a couple I got from Total War Records in Queensland. First up, Pungent Stench with their Mucus Secretion. I really didn't particularly need this. This is like I don't know if it's their first demo, but an early demo of theirs. The actual demo itself is on that first recordings compilation that I've got, but this one does have some rehearsal tracks, which I got suckered by, and one of which is a not released anywhere else kind of track. So, the whole thing starts with a rather lengthy Evil Dead sample. You can never mistake those sound effects that they used on that. But, this is recorded with a ghetto blaster in their rehearsal room. No overdubs, no nothing. And you'd think that'd sound like shit, but it doesn't. It sounds pretty bloody good, actually. I mean, not perfect by any means. It's still raw as hell, but you can make out more than you would expect. It's early days. I love the energy and vigor. This is recorded in 1988, I think. So, a while ago. But I love it. It's when Extreme Deformity kicks in. It's just so tough. The early songs on this, it does have a bunch of songs that aren't on the first album, and they're just kind of fast. You can kind of work out why they weren't on there. They kind of lack that groove that Pungent Stench are just so good at. You can hear it on Pungent Stench. The song itself is friggin' ripper, but it actually kind of seems to have slightly simpler drums. Maybe you just can't hear it properly because it's ghetto blaster. The version on For God Your Soul, For Me Your Flesh just sounds marginally different, but the rehearsal stuff sounds pretty similar. Really, it's actually different tracks. It's got In the Vault. It does have Mucus Secretion, which isn't on the demo for some reason. Hypnos is one of the cool songs that I really like off For God Your Soul, and that one stands out. It also has cover of two Slaughter, like the Canadian thrash Slaughter, jammed together, Strapato and then Incinerator. And I mean, how could you not want to play Incinerator, scream, make way for the Incinerator, and then play that riff? Yeah, I can totally understand any band that covers that. For some reason, it sounds like there's a woman screaming in the background on one of the tracks. I don't know. Maybe it's one of their friends in the room or something. Who knows? Melted Corpse is the nowhere else sort of track. It's pretty good. It's not amazing. It's pretty good, but it just kind of sounds like Alex is out of time, or the guitars are out of time, or not keeping up, or something or other. It's a bit odd. And it certainly isn't perfect. I think the guitar just drops out in the last song, Rip You Without Care. It just seems to be drums and bass at the end. But I find that cover really kind of weird for Pungent Stench. Maybe someone made it for them. It just doesn't suit them whatsoever. I don't know what the actual original demo looked like. I think it is just that. Maybe the logo, who knows. But yeah, it's a bit lackluster. So with this, you get pretty cool, not a giant amount of stuff, but you get a cool collage of old pictures and flyers and shit. What bands have we got? The Accused, Pungent, Disharmonic Orchestra. Oh, that'd be alright. Could handle that. Extreme Noise Terror, Deviated Instinct, Pungent Stench. And yeah, that's the interesting thing as well. Like, you actually get, I assume this bit is the kind of, it's lyrics from the thing and then thanks list reproduced and so on. I assume that's what it was originally, because first up they thank like Mick and Lee and Shane and Napalm Death, and then Unseen Terror, and then Extreme Noise Terror. So there's all these like British grind bands that I didn't really associate with Pungent Stench, I got to say. I mean, they're wearing a Napalm Death shirt in some of these pictures, but I don't know. I mean, it makes sense. Like, early Pungent Stench is pretty damn grindy, and Alex was a very fast drummer at times, but I don't know, it just kind of surprised me a bit. So I do believe they're just about to reissue, what is it, Extreme Deformity? What's the other? I don't know, another compilation of like EPs and whatnot that has, I think it's got live stuff on it. So I wasn't going to buy it. Now it's like, yeah, why not? You can't have too much Pungent Stench. So yeah, it's pretty damn good. All right, and lastly from Total War, I grabbed this. This is the Ethereal second album, Lords of the Night Realm. I was really impressed by Nord, the first album, so I had to grab this. This is just, yeah, fast as hell, slightly melodic Swedish black metal, just tremolo central, you know what it sounds like. Honestly, though, it doesn't grab me as much as Nord. Production's not quite as good. The drums sound a little odd, if anything. I don't know, maybe it's just because they sounded so thunderous and kick-ass on Nord. I don't know, it's marginal disappointment, this whole thing, I've got to say. It just lacks the variety of Nord. It doesn't sound quite as much like Immortal, so it's possibly a good thing in some ways, like as far as their original songwriting goes, but I do really like the slower Summon the Lord with horns, and also the title track itself, Lords of the Night Realm's a rager. I mean, it's still friggin' rules, it kind of sounds a bit more like Dark Funeral and a bit sort of not as interesting, much like Dark Funeral. So, yeah, I was not super impressed with this one, but I'll continue trying it. Why not? Pretty sure it's on. This is just a recent Soul Cellar reissue. I think it's on Clear Red. Very nice. So, yeah, you can never have too much Swedish black metal, but yeah, if you're going to get any Ethereal, Nord, way better. I don't actually know if I have even heard the third album, so yeah, let me know. Is that one any good? I don't know. Are they still going? Do they have other good albums? I don't know. Let me know in the comments. You never know. So yeah, but at least the cover's metal as hell, that's for sure. All right, and last but definitely not least is Eternal Darkness with their self-titled album. This only just came out on Pulverized Records. So yeah, this is Swedish death doom sort of stuff. This is one of the super heavies from my Swedish death metal sort of ranking videos. Them and Crypto Kerberos and Moondark were the three super heavy, just ridiculously detuned bolt thrower worship sort of bands. And yeah, so these guys back from the dead. Well, although they recorded this and then split up again, so they were back for a couple of years. I think they played a few gigs here and there, but thankfully they recorded this album for us. They hadn't actually released an album back in the day. This is a band from the early 90s sort of thing. I think they recorded one in 92 that did eventually get released on that excellent compilation. But yeah, so they were mostly a demo and EP sort of band. But yeah, they bought the heavy on this one, that's for sure. Just deep, heavy sort of sound. I think the second song, Pungent Awakenings, my highlight one on here, starts with like mandatory headbangery sort of riff, and just crushing. This is so heavy sounding. It's bloody awesome. What is it? Death Above All's like a epic doom sort of crusher with nice sort of overlaid lead bit. The last song, Till Death, is just super slow version of Celtic Frost sort of riffs. I love it. It's bloody cool. I've listened to this a ton since I got this. This will probably be on my top 20 albums of the year. I would not be surprised one thing. So, what do you get? You get a picture of the band looking tough and probably about as old and crusty as me. Lyrics and the like. You do get a poster of this as well. This is just on black vinyl, so I won't bother showing you that. But poster of the album cover and some lyrics or something or other. So yeah, good little deal. This came out on Pulverized too. Their shipping to Australia is not cheap. So I ordered this from Plastic Head, as I did, which is like, I think, British label or distro or whatever. And then of course I got it for a reasonable price. It wasn't cheap by any means. And then of course Underground Force Productions from Melbourne got it in on record, so it was already on its way from Plastic Head. I'm like, nah, I won't buy that one. So thankfully someone else bought it. So but yeah, friggin' heavy Swedish death doom. Yeah, how can you go wrong with that? It's nasty stuff and very stylish cover art. I'm quite liking the ye oldie, Hieronymus Boschish sort of look to it. Just heavy. All right, so that was the month of July. Plenty of good stuff there. As I said, links to all this, and also the shops where I got these from are down below in the description. So highly recommend checking them out. And yeah, let me know in the comments if you've scored any great albums of late. I'm always open for suggestions as well. So you know me, I like new music. So yeah, suggest away. I'm not sure what the next video will be. I'm going to put a challenge out soon, I think, so that one should be fun. Get some other YouTubers to do my bidding. But anyway, thanks for watching. I'll see you again soon. Cheers.